every student who is applying to a public sector bank for an education loan has to apply on Jansamarth portal, whether the loan is for India or abroad. Sometimes there will be some technical issues with the Jansamarth portal. In such scenarios also, our team will be able to help you. Hello all, this is Damini, co-founder of WeMakeScholars. I welcome you to the 44th episode of our web series Loanflix Season 2. So, Government of India launched Jansamarth portal about 12 months ago. But till now we didn't make this video because there were a lot of technical glitches on the Jansamarth portal, and also because there was literally no clarity on whether Jansamarth portal is going to be mandatory for all the students to apply on, or whether it's going to replace Vidya Lakshmi portal, or it's going to be an add-on. Things are still not very clear, but the clarity as of now is that every student who is applying to a public sector bank for an education loan has to apply on Jansamarth portal, whether the loan is for India or abroad. Yeah. And when you log into the portal, if the portal says you're not eligible for any subsidy, you're supposed to provide that printout to the bank. And if the portal says you are eligible, then you have to complete the entire application form on Jansamarth portal before you even start your loan application. In this video, I'm going to be filling the Jansamarth portal form right from the start till the end with my details to show you the entire journey of how the form works and what are the different fields you will have to enter. Now, before we start, there is one thing which I want to tell to those people who are new to my channel, that Loanflix is a web series which covers each and every detail of an education loan, right from the eligibility, documentation, disbursement, repayment, everything. And Loanflix is an initiative of WeMakeScholars. WeMakeScholars is an organization which is funded and supported by the Ministry of IT, Government of India, and its sole purpose is to help students like you get an education loan. And let me make it very clear, all the services of WeMakeScholars are completely free of cost because we are funded by the Ministry of IT, Government of India, as I mentioned. So you can request a callback on our website and get in touch with our team without any second thought. I'm leaving the link in the description through which you can get in touch with us. And now one more important thing before we start, that sometimes there will be some technical issues with the Jansamarth portal. So if you're facing such an issue and your branch is not letting you start your loan process because you have not logged into Jansamarth portal and filled the application, in such scenarios also our team will be able to help you. So in the past, such scenarios have happened, and we have certain formats of declaration through which we can eliminate Jansamarth portal login for a handful of applications. So if you're facing such an issue, do make sure that you contact your financial officer. Now, to get a financial officer assigned to you, you can request a callback on our website using the link mentioned above. Now let's start and go to jansamarth.in. So here we are on the registration page of jansamarth.in. So you put in your details, then you get to the privacy policy, scroll till the end, and only then you'll get the next button. Click on next. Same thing for the terms and conditions also. Scroll till the end and then click on next button. Yeah, click on the checkbox which is on the side. So now you will click on get OTP. So your mobile number will get an OTP. Enter the OTP. Click on submit. You can verify the email address also. So enter your email address and then you will get a verification OTP on your email ID as well. Get OTP. Yeah. So now we are on the page where you can see all the subsidy schemes which are there. So yeah, you can see home, my applications and schemes. So just on this page, if you scroll down, you can click on education loan, check eligibility. Now on this page, I am going to put parameters for which I know there is a subsidy scheme available. So let's say for outside India, 4 to 6 lakhs if the income. And then I'm going to put category as OBC because generally for general category, there are very less subsidy schemes. So postgraduate, course duration 2 years, full time, because for part-time programs generally there are not any subsidies. So I'm going to put an approximate course fee just to see whether it is making me eligible or not. So let's put 30 lakhs as the course fee. Yeah, and then it is also asking me what amount I'm going to put by from my side. So let's put it 5 lakh rupees. So now it is showing the loan amount required is 25. Okay, eligibility check. So now it is showing that it has found the scheme for me. So as you can see, the eligibility subsidy amount here is 5,10,000. So click on proceed. Yeah. So on this page, it is telling me to recheck all the details. So all the details which I added in the previous screen itself, everything it is just asking me to reconfirm. Click on continue. Yeah, so now it is asking me to keep these 3 documents ready, which is Aadhaar, PAN and bank account details, because it will be required. Proceed. So now it is going to take my consent for all the 4-5 portals it is going to use. So Aadhaar is one of that, UIDAI, and then income tax portal, then Udyam, which is for self-employed people check, bureau check consent, yeah, and finally the other consents. So now once I have given it the consent, it is landing me on the second screen where it is asking me Aadhaar and PAN details. So now you have to put your Aadhaar number. After that, you can request an OTP. Enter the OTP which you have received. Click submit. So as you can see, it has fetched my details from the Aadhaar portal. So you can enter the PAN number. So ideally a PAN is required to apply for loan. So click on submit and then final submit. So with this, we are done with this section, and it found my income details because I filed income tax return. So it has fetched that. That's what it was showing me. So when you land on the third screen, it is going to ask you your personal details and everything. So you can add those details. I'm skipping to the education part. Now, as you can see in the education, I just added that I am a graduate. So once you add graduate, it is also going to show you the other fields. So let me just put an approximate percentage. Now, as you can see, I have to add my graduation, then I have to add my HSC. So I'm trying to search my school here. So as I'm not able to find it, I'm just clicking cancel. But in your case, you can put other also. So then after that, I have the employer details, which if you are a working person, you can add the employer details. And finally click proceed. So now we are done with the fourth section as well. Now in the fifth section, as you can see, it is asking me, do you have a bank account? Yes or no. So now I am going to click no just to proceed forward, but then you can upload the bank statements by clicking on yes. Ideally it is better to put it because you'll have to receive the subsidy in that account. Now we are on the next screen, which is on course details. So here I have put outside India. You can see it is asking me all these details. So let me just fill it quickly. So quota selection, merit, how I got the admission, then the institute name. So actually for foreign universities you won't face an issue because you can type it. If you are applying for studies in India, it will give you an option, the drop down menu. So if you are not finding your option in the drop down menu, you can write others. Yeah, so because I've applied for abroad, I've just put the foreign university details. Now this course start date and course completion date is actually tentative date because no one is going to know exactly when is the course starting. So I'm just going to put some tentative dates because I put 2 years, so it took the completion date automatically. Now passport, of course, if you are going abroad, you have to have a passport. So click on yes and put the number. And will you take up a part-time course? Ideally put no because you're not sure yet. So just put no on that. And now you can see there are details of other costs. So tuition fee, exam fee, equipment, accommodation, everything. You're gonna put as per your offer letter. Please try to be as accurate as possible. Convert your foreign currency to Indian currency as on today and put those numbers. So I've put 10 lakhs for first year, 10 lakhs for second year. Exam fee, I'm just gonna roughly put 10,000 or let's make it 1 lakh. Yeah, 1 lakh in both the years. It's just approximately, it will be there on your I-20 or offer letter. Equipment is actually laptop or something if you're gonna include that in the loan. I'm just putting it 0 for now. Accommodation expenses are your living expenses which you're gonna quote. Again, if you're going to US, your I-20 has that amount. If you're going to other countries, you have that amount on your offer letter or on embassy website. Other expenses, I just added 0, but you can add your flight expenses there. Scholarship, if you click yes, it will ask you the details. Just put no for now. You can add those details again. I'm just clicking no. And are you willing to pay interest during course period? So in this case, I would suggest you not to click yes because, even though you're willing, you can make those payments during your course. But most of the public banks, it is not mandatory to pay interest during course period. So it's better to click no. Yeah, so I'm gonna click no in this. Yeah, so do you have a collateral? So if you're taking a loan above 7.5 lakhs, you have to put a collateral. So you're gonna put approximately owned house residence, approximate value. Otherwise, you can, skip this section. Proceed. And now we are on the 7th section. So it is asking me, do I have any loans on my name? So actually I don't have any loans, so I'm just gonna skip. Otherwise, you can add the loans. Proceed. And now in this section, it is asking me to upload documents. You can see it's mostly academic documents, proof of admission, caste certificate. So you can upload it. I'm gonna skip it. So now with this, my applicant profile is completed. Now I have to add the co-applicant profile. If I'm trying to submit, it is not gonna accept it without co-applicant. So let's add co-applicant. So now I'm going to add co-applicant here. So as you can see, there is one more question after the relationship, that whether consider him as a guarantor or not. So I'm going to put it as yes, because in every loan which is above 7.5 lakhs, guarantor is mandatory. And if it is a secured loan, guarantor is the same person as the property owner. So by clicking yes, you are saying that the guarantor, the person which you are adding here is also your guarantor. So let's click yes and proceed. Now you're gonna give your consent for every section, income tax, bureau, udyam, other consents, agree and proceed. Now we are on the same screen as we were in the applicant section. So you have to put the Aadhaar number of your co-applicant here. So now once you add his Aadhaar number, we will have to provide the consent to share the details and then get OTP. So your co-applicant will get OTP, enter the OTP here and click submit. So as you can see, the Aadhaar details are already fetched and we are putting PAN details. Submit. And now these are the personal details of your co-applicant. So you can fill this section. And now after the personal details, you will also see on the same screen that there are employability details. So you can add others or salaried and you can put in the details. So let me just put some dummy data. HCL, designation, let's put other, working with. So these are the things which you have to fill in for your co-applicant and proceed. So now in this particular screenshot, you can see that there are two options. You can upload or you can verify your account. So now I am going to click on read instructions. So now once you click on this, you will get a pop-up and only after that you will get the upload button. So I will go with verify my account option. So if I click on verify my account, it will ask the account holder's name. So here you have to put co-applicant account details, okay, not yours. So I'm just, just putting dummy data as, my account details, but you have to put co-applicants. Add everything, click on verify. So now your bank account details are verified. We are on the next section, which is add existing loan. So now again, if your co-applicant has any details, you have to add the loans. Otherwise, you can just skip. So now we are on the next section, which is upload documents. So here you have to put income certificate and proof of residence. I skipped it. So now finally we are on the page where co-applicant is also added. So applicant is also added. I'm gonna click on submit. Once you click submit, it will ask you which co-applicant you're considering. So I tried adding other one also, so I'm removing that. Submit, and finally the application is getting submitted. So finally it told me that I'm not eligible for the Ambedkar subsidy scheme. Let me see why. So for that I can click on my applications to see the reason. So now here it is showing the income is greater than the limit set. So actually what happened when I started the application, I kept my income as 4 to 6 lakhs. But ideally when the system checked, because it took a consent for income tax portal also, when it checked my income, it realized that my income is higher than 4 to 6 lakhs. So which actually is, right? So that's why I am not eligible for this subsidy scheme. But in your case, you might be eligible. So when you put the exact figures, the end screen will tell you whether you are eligible or not. So now after this section, because I was not eligible, I couldn't take the screenshots. So I've taken it from some other student. So these are the two screenshots which I have put it on the screen. In this, you can see that, if you are eligible, if after submitting, if you are eligible, you will get this screen, which is choose branch. So here you have to choose the branch where you are processing the loan. Ideally do this step only after your WeMakeScholars financial officer has guided you on the checklist and you have visited the branch with all the documents. Because if after filling this you realize that the branch is not good, then you will have no option to change it and you will be stuck with that branch. So please, before selecting this branch and after clicking submit, please talk to your WeMakeScholars financial officer and visit the branch once, and after that come on the screen and select the branch. Now once you select the branch, the next screen you will see, which I have shown on the right hand side, is that it will show you that the application started date, when you started the application, the applicant details are already filled because I did that, and co-applicant details are also filled, and referred means you have already selected the branch. Now the other three stages which are left is loan sanction, loan disbursement and subsidy claim. So as you progress your application in the public sector bank, wherever you are proceeding, then these stages will once they update in their system, the government has linked it, so it will get updated here: loan sanction, loan disbursed, and after that you can even make your subsidy claim from the Jansamarth portal itself. That's it for this video. I hope you understood the entire process of applying on Jansamarth portal. And as I mentioned, there are frequent technical glitches on this portal. So if you are facing one, you have to report it to us. Only then we'll be able to inform the bank and we'll let you proceed without it. And for that, you should be applying for your education loan via WeMakeScholars. You can approach us for any amount of abroad education loan or for studies in India loan above 7.5 lakhs. And as I mentioned earlier, all the services of WeMakeScholars are completely free of cost. We are funded and supported by the Ministry of IT, Government of India. And if you need help with your education loan application, you can talk to your financial officer. For that, you can request a call back using the link mentioned above. Now, if you have any questions about this video, feel free to put it in the comments below and I'll definitely get back to each one of you. And if you appreciate the effort we put into doing all this research and applying on the portal to show you all that information, then please subscribe to our channel and do like this video. Stay tuned for my next video. See you soon.